Good morning, everybody. I'm Andrea Vaccaro. I'm the Director of Safety Engineering for HyperloopOne. Alright, so what is the Proof of Operation Facility? So the Proof of Operation Facility will be the approval slab for an entirely new mode of transport. We need to build the Proof of Operation Facility, and we want to build it here because Hyperloop is a new mode of transport, and therefore we need to go through all the regulatory process in order to get it approved and to finally carry people on Hyperloop. So the Proof of Operation Facility will include all the components of the complete Hyperloop route. So we mean there will be the track, of course, we'll have the station, the system, the pods, and so on. All the components. And this will allow us to test each one of the components. So we will start to testing each one of the components and sub-assemblies, for example, transformers, valves, stators, and so on. Then we will test each one of the subsystem, and by subsystem I mean the pod itself, the levitation technology, communication technology, and so on. Then as soon as we test each one of the subsystem, we will progressively integrate the system, and we will do, therefore, the full system demonstration of Hyperloop, and all of the components of Hyperloop working together. After we have delivered the full system demonstration, we will actually do the trial runs. Trial runs is when basically the engineers will have demonstrated the functionality of the systems, and therefore the operation and maintenance personnel will take possession, let's say, of the Hyperloop, and they will test the procedures on how to operate Hyperloop. And the most important thing is that the Proof of Operation Facility will be built along the route of the final Hyperloop route that will connect Helsinki to Stockholm. All right, so we have saw like what is the purpose of the Proof of Operation Facility. Now let's discuss about what it is and where it is. So we have two cities here. As you can see, we have Turku and Salo, which are approximately 55 kilometers apart. The first thing that we want to build is the maintenance and operating facility. This facility will have two phases, let's say. At first, during the construction phase and the testing phase of Hyperloop, will be used as the headquarters of the construction operation. So we will have there, of course, all the construction team, we will have the project management team, and we will also have some consistent system development. So we will need to develop a lot of software to run Hyperloop, from the embedded system all the way to the services. So we plan to have personnel to develop this kind of system at the maintenance operation facility. And then other than that, we will have a QC inspection facility for sure. We will have some test and integration lab, and we will have what will become the control center of the overall Hyperloop. So this needs to happen at the end of 2017. So let's say in a year from now. And by the way, we already have some ideas on where we want to build it. Then we'll go to phase one. Phase one will be the first 15 kilometers of Hyperloop. So it will be 15 kilometers of tube. Then we will have all the systems that support the tube. So we're talking about the stators, the VFDs, the pumps, and we will have one single pod that we can test. And we will have a very basic station that basically will be an airlock to get the pod inside the tube and outside the tube. So at this point, again, as we said, we will have one single pod in this initial stage, and we can start to do some overall system integration tests to see like how the pod behaves and interfaces with all the other components of the system. This is basically what we are already doing in our facility in Nevada. That we will actually run this system demonstration in Nevada at the beginning of 2017. But here, having 15 kilometers of track, we can run it at much bigger scale. And one of the things that we will start to do here is we will start also to assess not just the safety of the system, but also we will start to assess the overall ride quality of the system, which is very important for the comfort of the passengers. We want to deliver a system that, of course, is safe. Safety is our top priority, but we also want to deliver a system that is comfortable, and we will test against the most strict standard of comfort. Okay, so that was just the phase 1. So phase 2, that will begin in Q3 of 2018, will actually start to build the full length tube all the way down to Turku, so 55 kilometers of tube, that will allow us to test the full speed of Hyperloop. It means that at this point, we could reach speeds that are just below the speed of sound, around 1,000 kilometers per hour. And that will be like the first time that the ground-based modal transportation will reach this speed, and will be a great moment for all of us. At this point, we will not just have one full-length tube. We will also have multiple pods, so we can test the safety function and the safety separation between the pods, and we will also have the 2 stations. So we can test test better, let's say, like the station approach technology and the airlocks, how to embark and disembark the people, and so on. The last step that we see here is actually doubling up the tube. So instead of having a single tube, we will have a double tube from Turku to Salo. And at this point, basically, we will have a full Hyperloop system. It will have all the components of the final Hyperloop just between 2 stations. But as soon as we do that, and as soon as we can start test the overall Hyperloop, we are actually going to start to build the other section of Hyperloop. So we're going to start to build to Helsinki, or we're going to start to build to Stockholm, or both of them. That basically will give us a great advantage, because we will have this proof of operation facility where we can test all the function of the system. So we mean that we want to test the performance of the system, we want to test the safety of the system, and so on. And we want to we will work with the National Safety Agency in order to demonstrate that the system is safe, to obtain the authorization to operate the system. And while we do that, we keep building Hyperloop. So when the other sections are built, we already have the safety authorization to operate the system. And that is very important for us. Okay, so this was the phase construction of the system. Now we will go a little bit more in detail about our Hyperloop design process. Okay, as you can see, this probably you are familiar with the V model if you have ever worked or developed any kind of system, basically. And we have like a number of steps that we need to do in order to deliver and operate the system. Of course, we start with the concept design, system definition, risk analysis. Then we go to the system requirements, we apportion the requirement, and we do the actual design and implementation. As you see, like these first 6 steps, they're in blue, and it means that we are actually doing this thing right now. And we are doing that right now in Los Angeles and in Las Vegas. What we are looking about doing with you here in Salo is all the other things, so manufacture, installation, system validation, acceptance, and operation and maintenance. And these things are the areas where we look for local collaboration with you. There is one more thing that we are looking to develop together with you, and is part of the step 6, which is the design and implementation. As I said before, there is one specific subsystem, but actually it's not even a subsystem. There is one specific technology, which are the system of Hyperloop, and specifically the Internet of Things. And when I say Internet of Things, I mean connected system. I mean how all the system of Hyperloop will communicate with each other. This is a very important technology for us that we are starting to develop right now. But we want to scale up to develop. In order to develop even faster, we feel that here in Salo we can find great collaboration since the great history that that Salo has as system development with Nokia, for example. So I'm talking about software development for sure, and I'm talking about embedded system and hardware development. So basically everything from the microchip to the software. And this is something that we really think that you have great talent here that we could use to jointly develop this. Of course, everything will be under the eye of an independent safety assessor that will make sure that the system that we develop is safe and is safely to operate with people on board. It's very important that we have a third-party assessor because that will guarantee that that we actually do what we say we do, and an independent expert actually certify that the system is safe. It's not just us that tell you the system is safe, it will be an independent assessor that will tell that the system is safe. So, just to summarize, here I have a slide about the opportunities of collaboration. We are talking about collaboration for the design, for the autonomous system to control the pod, and Internet of Things to basically have all the components of Hyperloop talk with each other in real time. Then we have manufacture, because here manufacturing is a wide range of different manufacturers that we need. And I say from steel to advanced aerospace technologies, because we have all the range of, from very, let's say, basic manufacturing to aerospace technology, for example, if you're thinking about the pod. Then we have construction and installation, because we still have to remember that Hyperloop is a technological marvel, but it's also a large infrastructure project with all the type of job that this kind of project brings. Then we will have the system validation and acceptance, which is extremely important, and we look forward to collaborate since the early stage of the project with Trafi, which is the safety authority for all mode of transportation here in Finland. So we want to work closely with them in order to agree together on a way to certify the system. And this is very important for us because we want to do it earlier, so we can speed up the approval process, but also we don't want that this approval process is used only in Finland, but we are looking to use this approval process all over Europe. And then we have the point 5, that is operation and maintenance, which includes also the development of highly skilled local workforce using the Hyperloop Academy program. Actually, we are not just looking about developing the workforce to operate the Hyperloop, but we are actually looking to develop the workforce to design the Hyperloop. And this local workforce will be in high demand over the next years, where we are going to build Hyperloop in other parts around the world. So here, the last slide is about the regulation. I briefly discussed about the regulation before, but just to reinforce a few points. Regulations are important for us because regulations are great not just for safety, but also for business. Because as soon as we regulate a new mode of transport, which is Hyperloop, the potential suppliers that want to build something for Hyperloop, they will actually know. They will actually know which standards they need to design to, and that will open a whole new market. Then, of course, we are a new system, so we need a new set of regulation, but we want to create this new set of regulations starting from existing industry practices. And when I talk about existing industry practices, I'm talking about mainly 3 areas that we are looking at. One is railway, then we have aviation, and then we have the autonomous vehicles. We need to take the regulation that either are already existing or are being created in these 3 areas, and basically use part of this regulation plus develop new standards to regulate specifically this new mode of transportation, that is Hyperloop. Then, of course, we will have the independent safety assessment. We already discussed about this. And then, last but not least, we need to work very closely with the EU, because at the end of the day, what we are looking at is to have a singular EU-wide safety authority to certify Hyperloop. We want to follow the model set by the ERA, which is the European Railway Agency, that starting from 2019 will be the only safety authority in Europe to release safety certification for railway. On the long run, we want to have the same thing also for Hyperloop. Okay.